Stop whatever you're doing right now and take a breath. Because Tia Mowry just strolled onto the red carpet and, honestly, she looked like she was floating. I don't even know how to process this. Like, I've got feelings. Lots of them. Grab yourself a cup of tea, curl up, and let's get into it. If you spent your younger years watching Sister, because seriously, what else were you even doing with your evenings? Then Tia Mowry is like family. She was always the sweeter twin, so grounded, the kind of person you imagined could strike up a conversation with you, overproduce, and make you laugh at the checkout. Her life always looked so perfect from the outside. Acting career, loving husband, gorgeous kids, just about everything anyone could want. And then, as life often does, everything shifted. The marriage ended. 14 years with Corey Hardrict came to a close, finalized in April 2003. And Tia? She didn't quietly disappear behind some privacy fence. She let us see her process. She cried, she posted, she got vulnerable on Instagram. She shared the ups and downs, the healing, the heartbreak, out loud in real time with all of us watching. Some folks thought maybe she was oversharing, but honestly, most of us saw ourselves reflected in her. Because when your world falls apart, you need someone, anyone, to listen. Sometimes that's the entire internet. But here's the best part. Tia just showed up at Essence's Black Women in Hollywood event in 2026, and she was not the same woman we saw on our screens, tear-streaked and processing that loss 2 years ago. No, she was radiant. I mean, seriously, glowing like she swallowed the sun. And when the topic of her love life came up, she didn't dodge. She didn't hide behind a polite smile or pretend she didn't hear the question. She leaned right in and dropped the news. She's in love, happy, and clutching this new romance close. Like, really close. Apparently, her facial expressions sent social media into meltdown. Somebody commented that her eyes were moving in cursive. I can't even handle that. What a visual! You know that face, the one a woman makes when she's completely unreservedly swept away and she's fighting the urge to broadcast it to everyone nearby, but her face just rebels. We've all either been there ourselves or watched a friend live it in real time. It's chaotic and messy and delightful. And this miracle didn't just pop up out of thin air either. Tia's been sprinkling hints for months. Back in February, she did this hilarious skit where she impersonated the last guy she kissed. So funny, so extra, so Tia. Later that month, she got pretty real, talking about opening up to love again. Not rushing, just ready. If you've gone through a big heartbreak and started to sense hope creeping back in, you know exactly the kind of courage it takes to admit you're ready. Then came the soft launch. Thank you, Internet, for coining that term. Tia dropped a slideshow of photos, among them a blink and you miss it glimpse of a mysterious man. Just enough for folks to start playing detective, zooming in, analyzing, piecing everything together. Ridiculous, yes, but it made for fantastic entertainment. So when she stepped onto that carpet and straight up confirmed it, yes, she's in love, yes, she's happy, the comment section exploded. People were losing their minds. Someone joked that somebody is talking her through it. All those laughing emojis giving you the vibe of just how good Tia looked. Another said, whoever has her now has her flipping head over heels. And my favorite? Someone caught her running up to Loretta Devine, palm to cheek, practically radiating affection onto everyone within arm's length. That's the kind of joy that spills over. You can't contain it. And honestly, good for her. Really, she's been through the ringer. Divorce hurts, it's messy, and even when it's right, it doesn't feel easy. She's got kids to raise, a career to maintain, a public image to keep afloat, and a heart that was obviously aching. But she pushed through, and she did it with the kind of honesty you rarely see from celebrity types. Because so many women in their 40s go through this shift. Some part of life flips upside down, and you have to rebuild from the ashes. Of course, there were skeptics. Internet people always have opinions. A few tossed around the idea that she might just clarify next week that she's really in love with herself, which, you know what, would still be amazing. Sometimes loving yourself is the best kind of love after a storm. But the majority, they could see it in her eyes. No faking it. She looked absolutely swept up. It's obvious someone or something has got her heart. One commenter nailed it. Tia smiling is so much better than Tia crying. There's no contest. We witnessed the lows, felt her pain, and now we get to see her shining. The way she's protecting this new happiness, keeping parts of it secret until she's ready. That's growth. That's a woman who learned from heartbreak, who finally feels safe enough to keep something beautiful tucked away until she's ready to share. And honestly, watching her embrace this new chapter, it's inspiring. It feels real. It feels earned. Because one of the most loving things you can do for a new relationship, and honestly, for yourself, is give it room to breathe before you put it on display. Social media is wonderful, and connection is wonderful. But there is something sacred about a love that you're still learning, that you're still holding carefully in both hands, that you haven't announced to the world yet because it's still just yours. Tia seems to understand that now in a way she maybe didn't before, and watching her stand on that red carpet, lit up from the inside, saying the right amount without saying everything, that was genuinely lovely to see. We don't know who he is yet, we may not know for a while, and that's perfectly okay. What we do know is that somewhere out there is a man making Tia Mowry's eyes move in cursive on a red carpet in front of the entire internet. And he should probably know that we are all rooting for him, silently, from our couches, with our warm drinks. So here's to Tia, here's to finding your way back to yourself after the hard stuff. Here's to keeping something beautiful close to your chest until you're ready. And here's to all of us, at every age, being reminded that love doesn't have an expiration date, and that glowing like that, honey, that is always, always available to you.